Harry, what are you doing?
Oh, a couple of things. I'm relaxing my muscles and meditating on the beauty of my review of the Shakespeare Festival.
Oh, it's good, huh?
Fantastic. Concrete verbs, concrete nouns, vigorous verbs.
Well, Mr. Morton will love that.
Yeah.
Yes?
Oh, Mr. Morton, I'm a little stiff from squash.
I don't care where you're from. Look at the punctuation on this piece on the Shakespeare Festival. Look at these sentences. When John Gielgud speaks, he thrills his audience. Unless you know him, you will be startled. Because he is an artist, he is versatile. Now, what am I underlining in these sentences? When John Gielgud speaks, unless you know him, because he is an artist.
Introductory clauses.
Right, subordinate clauses, each with a subject and a verb, but dependent upon the main clause to complete the meaning. Now, what kind of clauses are they?
Adverb clauses.
I'll bet you knew they were adverb clauses because they begin with the words unless or when.
Or they could begin with before, after, if, or because.
Introductory adverb clauses should be followed by a comma. When John Gielgud speaks, comma, unless you know him, comma, because he is an artist, comma. I've got it right.
Oh, Henry. Mr. Morton would probably be critical of Shakespeare if he worked here.
Do you think so?
Wait a minute. That's enough, Master Shakespeare. Let them go home so we can start the next performance.
Yes, sire.
Where is that play you promised me for last week?
Students, I'm working on a couple of things. One I think will be Buffo on the late drama.
Yeah, well, it better be better than this talky Roman thing you did. What do you call it?
I called that one The Tragedy of Julius Caesar. Didn't you like the part where Mark Antony says, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears"?
It needs more action.
What about the assassination? Et tu, Brute?
Not enough violence.
Show him the one called, the one about the prince.
Yes. I've got one about a prince whose father dies from poison, his girlfriend drowns, he kills a couple of people, then he takes poison himself.
That's more like it.
At the end, he says, "If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, hap sent thee from felicity."
Hold it. How did you punctuate that introductory adverb clause? How, if ever thou holdst me in my heart.
Huh?
Yeah, the way you read it, I knew there was no comma after the introductory clause.
Anyway, he thinks about suicide and says, "To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the..."
It's too wordy. Nobody listens to that stuff anymore. What else have you got?
Well, how about this? A Scotsman meets up with three witches.
That's adult entertainment.
Now, they tell him he's going to be king.
And then he writes a letter to his wife saying, "When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves heir into..."
Hold it. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves heir, into which they vanished. Zoons, Master Shakespeare, you've done it again. What is that introductory clause? When I burned in desire to question them further.
Gadzooks, an adverb clause. I'll punctuate that, sire.
Have you got anything with girls or sex? That's what's going down these days.
The feud and those two kids, what were their names?
Mary, I have, sire. It's set in Verona, Italy.
Ah, you've got to think of the ethnic audience.
A young man loves a girl, but he's not sure if she loves him. Like to hear it?
Yeah, go fast.
Okay. She's on a balcony at night near an orchard.
We can't afford balconies.
All right, I'll make it a ladder.
Good.
She's on the ladder in the orchard.
Right.
Okay. She's talking to herself.
Well, now, how do you want me to do this? Straight?
Any way you feel comfortable.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Why do you have to always repeat yourself to be or not to be, Romeo? Romeo.
Will you just listen a little bit? She's telling him it's a tough neighborhood and that her parents aren't exactly crazy about him.
Go ahead.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Wait a minute, let me see that. Uh-huh, just as I thought, an introductory adverb clause with no comma. No wonder your actors have trouble with your lines. Use a comma.
Mary, I will, sire. How'd you like it apart from the punctuation?
I don't like anything apart from the punctuation. You stick to the acting and leave the writing to me.
But, sire...
Avant, varlet! And do not return until you come back with something of substance and commas after the introductory adverb clauses. Nobody knows how to write anymore. Now then, where was I? Although a rose is red, comma, a violet is blue. Now there's a line that's gonna last.